Welcome back, everyone. Today we're setting sail on a really special deep dive. We're exploring Portugal's incredible story with the sea. It's a journey that takes us from, ancient navigators charting unknown waters all the way to pioneering scientists probing the ocean depths. And our starting point, our inspiration really, is this fascinating interview. It was done by some very curious students with a guide at the Maritime Museum in Lisbon. We've pulled out the key stuff for you.
Exactly. And our mission here is to see how that history, the ingenuity, the scientific curiosity, how it all shaped Portugal's identity. We're using the museum as our guide, essentially. And it's amazing how relevant these stories still feel today, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's imagine, walking into the Maritime Museum. What hits you first? I picture those royal vessels being pretty stunning.
Oh, definitely. They are quite something. You've got this amazing collection, and the Royal Yacht Amelia really stands out. It gives you this direct glimpse into royal life on the water. It wasn't just for show. It was like a floating piece of the court.
A floating piece of the court, I like that. And then there's that huge model of Portuguese carrack I read about. What's the feeling seeing that scale?
Yeah, it's massive. It really hits home the sheer ambition of that era. These weren't just boats. They were complex machines designed for incredibly long voyages, carrying cargo, people, kind of like floating fortresses, pushing the boundaries of what anyone thought was possible back then.
It's great that students are connecting with this. The guide mentioned them specifically, didn't they? What kind of visitors does the museum usually get?
Well, it attracts people from all over, really, all ages. But yes, the guide made a point about students. They come in, apparently, really eager to learn about the maritime history, especially the age of discoveries. So if you're listening and feeling curious, you're definitely in the right place.
Okay, speaking of the age of discoveries,
Mm-hmm.
the Discoveries Room. This must tackle the big question. How on earth did they manage it? Sailing across vast oceans with no modern tech. What were the key tools?
Well, one of the absolute stars of that room is the astrolabe. It's highlighted as a key exhibit. It's this ingenious device they use to navigate by the stars, basically measuring the height of stars like the North Star to figure out their latitude.
Latitude.
Yeah. And achieving that kind of navigation, thousands of miles from land with what seems like a simple tool now. It was brilliant. No GPS, obviously.
Beyond the astrolabe, what else was crucial? The interview mentioned a couple more things, I think.
It did. The sextant was another big one, allowing for even more precise measurements of angles between celestial bodies and the horizon. And the compass, of course, for basic direction. But you can't forget the ship itself. The caravel.
The caravel.
That was a game changer. Those lateen sails meant it could sail much better against the wind, gave them speed and maneuverability that older ships just didn't have.
That's such a key point. So you have these innovative tools, but then you also need just immense human courage, right?
Yeah.
To sail into the complete unknown.
Absolutely. It's hard to even fathom, isn't it? The guide talked about very long voyages and finding new maritime routes, but think about the isolation, the danger, sailing off maps that literally just stopped, the psychological strength needed. It's mind-boggling.
Okay, so now this story takes a bit of a turn, doesn't it? Towards someone maybe less expected in this context. King Carlos.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a figurehead monarch, was he?
No, not at all. That's what's so interesting. The museum guide really paints him as this great passionate about the sea.
Yeah.
More than that, a genuine scientist. He used his position, his resources to really push marine science forward.
And there's a whole room dedicated to him, with his actual instruments and maps.
Yes, exactly. It shows his dedication. You see his instruments, charts, even photos from his research expeditions. His work was foundational for oceanography in Portugal. He personally led several expeditions, to study the seabed and marine life. He collected fish samples, studied currents, and was instrumental in creating early maps of the seabed. This wasn't just a royal pastime, it was systematic science. He really was a true pioneer in the science of the sea in Portugal. And think about it, mapping the seabed back then, that laid groundwork for understanding things like deep sea currents, which affect everything from fishing to, eventually laying transatlantic cables. A direct link.
That's fascinating. So we've gone from the age of discoveries, these incredible voyages, to this royal scientist. Why does all this history, this legacy, still matter so much today?
That's the crucial link, isn't it? The guide put it very clearly. The sea's importance hasn't faded. It still provides so much, gives us food, massively regulates the climate. It's home to thousands of species. It's fundamental to our planet. And that brings us right back to why D. Carlos was doing what he was doing, in a way. Just like him, we have to keep studying the ocean. We need to understand it to protect it so that, future generations can also benefit from everything it offers. His work was almost like an early call for the stewardship we need now.
It's been quite a journey in this deep dive. From those early tools and brave explorers to a king obsessed with marine science, it really underscores how the sea is just woven into Portugal's identity, historically and scientifically.
Absolutely. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? Given how vast the ocean still is, how much we don't know, what discoveries are still out there, what might future generations or maybe even you listening be inspired to find? Building on that legacy of pioneers like King D. Carlos, what's the next frontier beneath the waves?